video. 7 deadly sins of Roblox.
These are 7 Roblox games that perfectly embody the 7 deadly sins, and today we'll be discussing all of them, starting with pride, which refers to the excessive belief in one's own abilities, with an inflated ego of self-importance and arrogance. While many games have fallen victim to this sin, none can match the level of Adopt Me and its community. Developed by Uplift Games, Adopt Me started as an MMO role-playing game, where players could pretend to be a child getting adopted or a parent adopting a child. However, a year later, the developer—
Grown men playing Adopt Me is weird. I don't know about you. But
shifted the
I don't know. I don't know much grown men that want to pretend to be a child. I'm pretty sure they just go to the scam.
Game from adopting and taking care of children to virtual pets. With more and more updates, they started to add onto this feature, slowly making it the main focus of the game.
While some
players missed the old
Adopt,
many were excited to check out the new additions to the game, which turned out to be a massive hit. By June 2020, Adopt Me became one of the most popular games in Roblox, with more than 6 million active players. Soon, players started to flex their rare pets, which only created a frenzy.
6 million active? That's not right.
Players. Soon, players started
That was like 2 to 3.
Flex their rare pets, which only created a frenzy among each other.
Maybe it is right.
This created a toxic environment around the game, with many players starting to trade and sometimes even beg for pets. I love how most people in Adopt Me beg for pets, and when you give it to them, they run off without saying thank you. Since the cost of pets was very high,
the little kids, they don't know better.
Players started to look for other platforms which were selling them for real money, resulting in countless people being scammed by suspicious sellers. What started as a game of adopting and raising children quickly turned into something focused on showing off pets. The developers capitalized on their young user base to fall into pride and made a ton of money, close to $60 million. However, unlike the other games in this list, which faced a major drop, Adopt Me is still on the top with more than 60,000 active users and 35 billion visits. While Adopt Me exploited the human tendency of pride, Soul's RNG caters to one of the most common sins, Sloth, which refers to being lazy and not wanting to
They got hella money off them kids.
Developed by Soul's Studio, the game is based on a probability system where the player has to roll in order to obtain the auras. However, the auras are solely dependent on your luck, starting from the most common ones, which are easier to obtain with a probability of 1 in 2, to some of the most outrageous percentages like 1 in 100 million. Rather than focusing on making money from their players' Robux spending, they instead focused on making the players stay on the game for as long as possible. Due to the engagement-based payout system, the developers are incentivized to keep the players in the game.
I feel so bad for people that actually play this, like legitimately play it.
Soul's RNG
not AFK doing it. They're there.
World map to explore, and doesn't even have any notable features. The only action the player has to do is to collect potions scattered around the island. And with its auto-roll feature, the game quickly turned out to be an AFK experience where you solely rely on luck. Roblox players started to express their opinion about the game, stating that, "The game is a waste of my time. It's just without losing anything. You can't even do anything with the auras." However, the same cannot be said about the next game on the list that was destroyed by the very developers who created it due to their huge ego and anger issues. We're talking about
I don't know who that is,
Kaizen.
Don't worry about it.
It is based on a popular Japanese anime, Jujutsu Kaisen, and was developed by Rev and Sean. However, the game was embroiled in controversy right from its release due to the lack of features and originality, like a skill tree system, which is commonly found in similar games. Even though the game was not well developed, the developers, instead of apologizing started to boast about the amount of money they had made from the release. One of the developers, Rev, confirmed that the game had earned around $10,000 in an hour, and a total of $30,000 on its launch day. He even went so far as to call the players brokies. Rev further taunted the players by stating that he was about to blow all the money on his girlfriend.
These are different owners,
Before we continue with the rest of the video,
I didn't do a video when it released.
You're so close to 10,000
I did a video before it came out, but like I didn't do a video when it released because I'm pretty sure they sold the game. The original owners sold the game, if I'm correct.
A lot if you could subscribe. When things were starting to get out of hand, the developers apologized to the players and promised to relaunch the game within 24 hours. But many were skeptical as to how much they would change to the game, and rightly so, as they made no significant updates.
Is the game out right now?
This day looks like a wasteland with nothing to talk about.
3 weeks ago.
However, unlike the devs of Grand Kaizen, the next developer on the list developed a game that is not only highly inappropriate for kids, but also shares a history of being associated with
my damn stream taking that. Goddamn!
Lust is an intense or uncontrolled desire that involves degrading others as mere objects to fulfill these urges, especially for sexual gratification, and MeepCity is the perfect candidate for this sin.
They did that on MeepCity, really?
MeepCity is a game
they was going crazy on me
experience with
really?
features like mini games, roleplay, and parties. MeepCity became one of the most successful games on the platform.
I didn't know they was moving like that on MeepCity. I never knew.
Forced to surpass 1 billion visits, and the reason for its popularity was one of the most controversial features of the game.
I thought it was just owning houses and chilling.
Is a feature that allows
like a ton of Roblox type shit.
Join parties that are hosted by other members. Well, for a social hangout game like MeepCity, it completely made sense to have a party hall for players
moving
to
like that
and enjoy. But the reality was far from the truth. These parties were not the family-friendly events one might expect. Instead, they contained some of the most disturbing and inappropriate content on Roblox. Despite receiving massive backlash from the community, the developer of the game, Alex Neutron, didn't care.
That's so fucking crazy. I did not know that.
Stating that moderation is not my job. I make games. Report
them. Damn, he said he does not care.
Slowly, the game turned into an online dating place with highly inappropriate things going on. As the game grew more and more popular, it eventually made its way to the YouTube platform and was covered extensively due to adult content found on a game primarily used by This was quickly.
He's not wrong, but like he has to at least put out a statement that you guys should not be doing that.
By Roblox, and after a lot
obviously you can't moderate it. How is he gonna moderate it? How is he gonna be everywhere at once?
The game on February 16, 2022. After the removal of parties, a lot of players lost interest in the game in 2020. A lot of scrutiny. The parties were removed from the game on February 16, 2022. After the removal of parties, a lot of players lost interest in the game and blamed Alex Neutron. All the backlash, bypassing, inappropriate behavior, and party removal on MeepCity could have easily been prevented if Alex hired a moderation team or a working report system.
How? Like they can't be everywhere at once.
Instead of being stubborn and relying.
Oh yeah, they could have definitely done. He could have done ways to like report it. Yeah.
Relying on Roblox.
To actually make it look like he was caring, because I mean clearly you saw right here. Fuck did he say?
Take any act.
That shit is not my job. I mean, he could have just done steps to make it look like he was caring at least, but yeah, he moved parties and they all left this game.
Alex hired
to another game that had parties.
Or a working report system instead of being stubborn and relying on Roblox. Now, MeepCity is just a shell of its former past with less than 5,000 active users. However,
still players, though.
The next game on the list was created by one of the most famous and well-respected developers of the platform, and represents envy. Envy can be best described as a resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck, and the game which fits this is none other than Shindo Life. Shindo Life is a Naruto-inspired game that was developed by the Rel World Group. However, the game was not always known as Shindo Life. Rather, it started as Shinobi Life with different features compared to the current version. The original game faced legal troubles due to copyright claims from the Naruto franchise, and was taken down. In order to save their game from being taken down again, the developers scrambled to create a rebranded version, keeping the core mechanics similar, but making some changes to the character designs. The rebranded game was welcomed with huge support.
This is weird though, because they put the stuff back.
Excited to check out their favorite character.
Didn't they put all the stuff back like a year later or two? That's definitely bold. I would not do that, but
however, as Shindo Life gained popularity, the developers shifted the game's abilities towards more highly damaging AoE type combat from skill-based combat.
This it was always like this. Wait, what? It was always like this. This is not true. This is not true.
The developers shifted the game's abilities towards more highly damaging AoE type.
This was always like this realistically, but it got progressively worse. Because shit was starting to get stronger and stronger just so they can sell more stuff.
Combat from skill-based combat. This created a massive imbalance.
I'd argue it was never skill-based. Let's be real. It was never skill-based. You literally just rolled for whatever was the best Kaizen at the time and then used it. Like, I remember the Rinnegan. Remember on launch, the Rinnegan was insane.
Which made many quit. To make matters worse, the developers decided to add abilities outside of the Naruto franchise, like adding abilities of Spider-Man to the game, causing players to be disappointed.
They was always doing that, though.
It's an anime game, but you got Captain America's.
It was always adding this stuff. So like, this is kind of misleading because this stuff was always like this. It was like this from day one. Like, remember when he added the Jotaro thing for Halloween? This was always like this. And yeah, this doesn't really matter that much.
Nobody asked for Captain America's shield to be in Shindo. Shindo dying and Rel adding any like Spider-Man to kill this game faster. Though it was not welcomed by many,
this is biased,
the game still racked in a lot of
I can't agree with this. This is biased because the game was always like this. It just got more noticeable.
However, things were slowly going downhill, as many people stopped playing with no interest whatsoever. So, the developers decided to drop the race update, which was the final nail in the coffin, as many players left the game for good. With some calling it simply,
I left because it was too expensive.
In the race update, the developers added
doing videos on this game was way too expensive. Like, so obviously, when we do videos, right? When we're doing the showcase videos, remember we'd a new update would drop because they drop updates like every Friday. We try and roll for whatever the new Kekkei is and then showcase it. It was too expensive. And it was way too time consuming because you had to sit there rolling, praying that you got whatever the thingy was. It was so damn annoying doing videos. That's why I stopped doing it. That's why I quit.
Called
the game is too expensive.
Which allowed players to choose different playable
races, and then it got to the point where like
each having their
you were spending so much Robux trying to roll the thing for the video that you wouldn't even make enough money off of the video that you were doing. And if it got to that point for me, and my channel was like pretty successful, I can't even imagine what it was like for other people that didn't have like a successful channel at the time. It was probably like absurd. It was just not worth it unless you knew one of the devs and you were getting the shit for free.
Their unique abilities. However,
rolling takes like 30 minutes. Oh, not for me, it didn't.
Just were furious. But
I did a whole stream when the game first came out. It took me like 2 hours to run it on.
But why? In order to get the ability,
it was bad.
The player has to get the highest rank, Z rank. On top of that,
they made easier ways to spin. They added like the skip thingy, Game Pass, and added like 4 slots. But it was still annoying.
What made it more challenging is that players needed to use a special
that was my personal reason for stopping
Rel coins to spin for races.
Wait, what? Wait, what is this? This is when I quit.
Unique abilities, which allowed players to choose different playable races, each having their unique abilities. However, the players were furious. But why?
Wait, how does it work?
In order to get the ability, the player has to get the highest rank, Z rank. On top of that, the player had to collect DNA strands of the defeated boss and spin to unlock the race. But
the boss
what
stuff
made
was
it
fun,
more
though.
challenging is that players needed
I'll never forget how fun it was
on
launch of Shindo, where like we had to like go get the gins. That shit was so fun. It was stressful because remember how it was with the little timer? You had to go to the exams too, like what? The 5-tail spawned at like 5 p.m. And if you missed it at 5 p.m., you had to come back again at like, what, 5 a.m.? That shit was so bad.
Rel coins to spin for races, which was very time-consuming to obtain.
And doing like the rank-up exams, that shit was fun as fuck.
To spend a lot of time or money on the game.
The game was fun.
As time passed by, the developers decided to stop releasing their weekly
this was before
updates, which was a clear sign that they had found something more eye-catching and were no longer as invested in the game. On January 4, 2023, the Rel World Group announced their new project, Nindon, which was welcomed by a lot of fans due to its unique approach and character design. 2 weeks later, the developers announced a new One Piece style game, Rel Seas.
Okay, that's not true. That's not true. This Rel Seas was announced before then.
Likely motivated by the success
was announced before then.
Of other popular anime-inspired games.
It showed both.
Like Blox Fruits and its competitors. It was
I don't remember this happening. They showed both.
Clear that the Rel Group wanted to achieve the same level of
popularity. Was already announced before that.
They were envious of their competitors' growth, which drove them to quickly change direction and try to capitalize on the next big trend. Even though the developers are not as focused with Shindo Life now, Rel Group is still highly regarded due to their determination to make their players
he just
happy,
doesn't know,
unlike the next game that clearly represents greed, which is the intense and selfish desire for something, especially money, power, or control. And the game that clearly fits this description is Blade Ball.
I still never played this game.
Y1DDY and Chunch Bunch, Blade Ball is an action game that has a similar gameplay to Dodgeball, with players using swords to defend themselves from the main mechanic of the game. the ball.
I played an anime dodgeball game, but it wasn't
gets eliminated and sent back to the lobby. Though many similar games were released in the past, none had come close to Blade Ball, racking in more than 3 billion visits from June 2023. However, things started to fall apart when the developers decided to make it a pay-to-win game. Though most of the skins and abilities were free to use, it was no match to the ones which were obtained from Robux. Over time, the players grew increasingly unhappy with the developers.
That's why it died? Is it still alive today? Let me look it up. Well, I never played this game before. I saw a lot of people play. I remember Dano was doing videos. Yeah, that's players. That's 49K players. It's still alive. It clearly is working.
Adding new features to the game.
It's clearly working,
nothing but boring and repetitive. They also accused the developers of turning the game into a cash cow with complete disregard of their players, with one going on to say, "Can you do one update where you don't have to gamble? If you don't have money, there's literally nothing new.
Just buy it.
No wonder your game is dying."
I thought it was like they did it like where it's like ABA, where like you just buy a character with coins. You just win matches, you get coins, you just buy the power up. It's not like that. You have to actually roll? That's fucking cancer. That's cancer.
The active user base of
is there stuff that you literally cannot get unless you spend a Robux? That's brain dead. I hate stuff like that. Is that how it is in this? That's trash.
Dropped by over 80%.
You legitimately just can't obtain it unless you spend money. That's trash. That's like the mobile gacha games.
From 100. I
remember when I played the browser Naruto Online game. A bunch of characters you just would never see the light of day unless you spent money. It was impossible to get unless you spent money. Oh, they did that with Gojo Infinity? Oh, that's stupid. I figured it was like all these power-ups you see you could just... That's why I always figured. Like, these power-ups are here.
Though most of the
you just buy them with coins or something. You get coins from like winning matches or something.
Skins and abilities.
But if it's pay to win, then, well, yeah, of course they're going to be mad. Especially if there's no way you get it for free.
Into a cash cow with complete disregard of their players, with one going on to say, "Can you do one update where you don't have to gamble? If you don't have money, there's literally nothing new. No wonder your game is dying."
Oh, it's nothing. That's even worse. It is trash when a game will go into like an update where like that's why I fucking hate these type of games. Like sometimes updates will come out, right? You can't even experience that update unless you spent money. It's trash. I hate that so much. You wouldn't even be able to experience what even came out that update unless you literally spent money, and there's nothing for you to do to get it.
To just
so like, there's no reason for you to be playing that update.
Blade Ball had an interesting concept for a game, which is why it gained a lot of players upon release. Unlike the next game, which perfectly represents Gluttony. Gluttony refers to the excessive and uncontrolled consumption of food, wealth, or excess of anything.
There's a lot of games I can think of.
The best represents Gluttony is Fruit Warriors. To be more precise, it is the developer of the game, Axior. Axior is a popular YouTuber in the Roblox gaming community, with over 1 million subscribers. He's well known for his Blocks Fruits content, and was also one of the first from the Roblox community to reach 1 million subscribers on the platform. Not only did Axior hold a strong YouTube following,
I wouldn't say one of the first. There's a lot of Roblox YouTubers with 1 mil.
Garnering over 600,000 members in his Discord community.
There's a lot of Roblox YouTubers with 1 mil plus.
Everything would change on October 6, 2022. When Rel Games announced their new One Piece
he's gonna cover this part. Yeah, this was unnecessary.
Fans were excited to hear about the new game.
Nah, because when Rel Seas announced their thing,
previous games,
the Axer dude, he quoted their tweet saying "sit" or some dumb shit. It was something really unnecessary.
So a lot of Roblox
he did something. It was really unnecessary.
But to everyone's surprise, Axior seemed unimpressed.
Yeah,
as he responded.
Yeah, this is it. He said, "Rel Games, no thanks."
No thanks.
And he always like compared the two player counts of their games with Block Streets. It's like it was just weird. Just unnecessary.
The brothers went on to talk about the hate they are receiving and asked for their fans. The brothers went on.
He is controlled that he can only record Block Streets. Now they say this because apparently Axler has like a contract with the Block Streets devs or something. Like he can't upload any other game unless it's Block Streets. That's
on to talk about the hate.
That's why they be like he sold his soul, which is like, I mean,
they are receiving and asked for their fan support.
I mean, at least he likes the game, I think. I wouldn't mind taking something like that if you love the game and that's like the only game you play. Like, for imagine like what Nick A30. If Nick A30 got like a Fortnite contract, he'd sign it probably if it's for like a load of money. I mean, he loves that game so much and he already only uploads Fortnite, so like it wouldn't be bad. But like, I'd assume he likes it. If ABA offered you a contract, no, I'm not taking it. No. No.
Go on to release his own One Piece
Me personally, it would take a lot for me to sign a contract like that to only upload on one game. One, I'd have to really, really love that game and already be doing loads of content on it. And two, like, I need to read that contract too. Like, Warriors. It had to be a lot of money as well.
The game was dubbed the Ralsei's Killer.
What the hell?
Its fans were eagerly anticipating its release. However, the reality of Fruit Warriors was far from what Axior's fans
I don't like ABA like that. I would never sign a contract like that.
The game turned out to be nothing more than a bandit killer simulator.
Maybe back then when I was stupid
and questioning his attitude towards Rel games.
After I don't even think back then I'd ever even signed something like that.
Died out, and Axior was mocked for turning his audience against another creator for no apparent reason, destroying his online reputation, causing the official trailer of Fruit Warriors to be filled with comments such as, "Nothing crazy, no crazy shenanigans, just straight up This game has hidden talent. Let's keep it that way." Interestingly, ever since the release of Fruit Warriors, Axior has not uploaded a single new video.
Wait, really?
Which speaks volumes about his downfall.
I already disappeared, but
Fruit Warriors has a staggering 8 active players.
Oh shit.
While the anticipation...
Has he really never uploaded since? I heard about this. I don't know if it was true though. I thought he just, I don't know, taking a break. No. I thought he was still uploading to this day. I guess not. This fella does not upload no more. 1 year ago. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, y'all must have farmed him or something. The trailer was cool. I remember seeing this. The trailer looked cool, but like there was no gameplay in it. There was no gameplay in this trailer. It was just showing off buildings, and I cannot stand Roblox gameplays, trailers that are like that. Well, Roblox trailers that are like that. It's extremely misleading. There's no gameplay here. Like you can't see a UI or nothing. He's fighting one boss, like they can't see a UI. You can't. Nah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Stuff like this don't do it for me. Earned EXP. Oh yeah, you know what this game's gonna be like if you see something like that. And he actually disappeared. That's crazy. Game is. Oh, they're cooking him in the comments. Oh.
For Ralsei's release is growing every day.
Yikes. Oh, we're done? Oh, snap. I didn't think it was over. What is this? Is this? I'm not looking at that. What the hell? That was a good video. We love being bandits. Being bandits is crazy. Let's play some Tekken 8.